And welcome back. A new phase of the Russian investigation will begin this week as we learn who has now been charged. All that as the president heads to Asia this week. So let's bring in our political panel this morning. Democratic political analyst Shannon Love and Republican political analyst Jonathan Torres. Great to have you guys here as always.
Good morning.
We'll get to Washington and the world in a minute, but before we get to that, I want to start with the race that we just talked about. The one with Vern Buchanan, who's had 3 terms right now, I believe, going up against David Shapiro. Buchanan certainly a force to be reckoned with, but Shapiro, who narrowly lost a race back in 2006, 51 to 49% in a predominantly Republican district. It was a 2-to-1 for Republicans. Can Shapiro come out and get a win right here? Shannon, take it.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look, first of all, the momentum in Democratic special elections has been really well received. You know, we just got Annette Taddeo. We've obviously got momentum going into the mayor's race in St. Petersburg. We've got a great benefit. And when you look at it, the fact that he has added name recognition, his law firm has been prevalent in the media, in the community. He's been community active. He's run before, narrowly lost in a Republican year. I think the benefit's on his side.
Jonathan.
Well, there's nothing harder to unseat an incumbent, especially because there are organizations in D.C. whose role is specifically to get incumbents reelected. So you've got that working against you or for Vern Buchanan. Also, the fact that right now there's no indication that really the Democrats have any momentum going into this election. I mean, it's really going to fall on how much can he put of what's happening in the current administration against him. But at the end of the day, with the Republican majority still at stake, I think you're going to see him turn out in big numbers.
I disagree with that a lot. If you look at 2018, the momentum's absolutely on our side. If you look at it, there is no conversation that doesn't involve Donald Trump that doesn't say that the Democrats have every advantage going into 2018.
Okay, but let's go ahead and then talk about the Republicans possibly, or the Democrats possibly having the advantage. We get back to Washington now with the 2 senators, Flake and Corker, going out and basically, slamming the president, and so one of them saying that it was utterly untruthful. President Flake proclaimed that, quote, "It is time for our complicity and our accommodation of the unacceptable to end." So how does that play out with both parties? I mean, the word was that, they were going to do that, and they expected other Republicans to follow their moves. The next day, that did not happen.
Yeah, there's still a big base of support for President Trump, despite what you've seen, all the polls that were wrong in the 2016 election. And the truth of the matter is that they're now kind of out on this remote island because, again, there may be others that disagree with President Trump on a number of things, but they're not going to come out and speak out about it like Flake and Corker have done. And we're seeing that Trump is still very powerful among the base of the party.
Well, I think when you look at it, what you're seeing is you're seeing Republican elected officials who are afraid to speak out. You're finding that you're seeing things shuttered. There's constantly a call to talk about, Donald Trump on everything from a local to a national level.
So you're saying that Republicans do want to come out and talk against the president, but they're too afraid for fear of the backlash.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what the ramifications are, right? We haven't had that litmus test as to whether it's going to benefit you as a Republican to be for or against Trump. And that's what these midterm elections are going to define.
I think Senator McCain is quite happy to speak out against Donald Trump quite frequently.
Right.
Well, and it may work in his district. And again, this is something that's going to vary from district to district. But the big advantage for Republicans going into the midterm elections is that the DNC is in shambles right now, and they can't seem to get unified, they can't seem to get organized, and they're having a lot of trouble raising money.
We got to move on. Late Friday, we learned that a grand jury approved the first charges in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's, I should say Mueller, my name is Mueller, Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. And depending upon who is charged, Jonathan, how should the president handle this as he heads to Asia this week?
Well, again, as someone who operates from a very business-like standpoint, I think he's going to make take every opportunity to distance himself from whoever this person is that is charged. He's going to try to distance himself like he typically does in the media, by creating some other sort of narrative or storyline and really trying to deflect as much of that attention on whoever is charged.
I mean, I think actually Johnny and I agree on that. That is going to be...
There's a first.
Yeah, I know, right? That is Donald Trump's approach, is to literally deflect attention from himself. And I think that that's the one thing that Republicans and Democrats agree on that's really frustrating. I think going into it, he's going to try and create false news, quote unquote, to like make himself look more important. And that's his typical storyline.
The president's going to create false news?
Yeah.
Interesting, because he always says the media hashtag fake news.
Yeah, I think if you look at Donald Trump's tweets, they are the epitome of hashtag fake news.
Jonathan?
Well, and it also depends. I mean, again, you just mentioned he's going to be going to Asia. There's, of course, the tax reform bill that's coming on the floor. We've got this JFK thing that he's seemingly obsessed about. And
that
so,
legally,
you know, a lot of this is really, again, it's a way to keep a different narrative, a different storyline in front of center.
Yes, because he wants to make himself more important than he really is as president of the United States, instead of doing things like his job. So you see things like the fact that he's releasing JFK's files, which by law were going to be released anyways.
You know, the truth of the matter is I don't think in this investigation, I don't think he has anything to worry about, and I feel that he knows that. If not, you'd see very different kind of rumblings and rumors coming out of the White House in terms of their preparations for this.
And we'll see what those 300 additional files are that come out in 6 months, if indeed we do see those, all of those 300 files. I want to go ahead and get to one more question. We have so much to talk about this morning, but one more question, and that's locally. The new plan, I'm sure you've heard it. We broke the story right here on News Channel 8. And of course, that's the new plan to build a stadium for the Rays in Ybor City. You know, you add that to the highly contested race between St. Pete Mayor, you know, Rick Kreisman, to the highly contested mayor's race in St. Pete, I should say, Kreisman versus Baker. Could the idea that the Rays will leave have an impact on either Kreisman or Baker?
Absolutely. I think this is Kreisman's way of really selling out the city. You know, just a few weeks ago, the Rays gave Kreisman $50,000, and I see it as hush money for this deal that has now been in the works for some time now, very much in back rooms. And I'll tell you, it's not going to be an easy go for the Rays.
Kreisman selling out the city?
Yeah. So speaking of backroom deals, you know, it's interesting because the mayor of Tampa said that he knew nothing about this plan. This plan was done in the back room, and I believe it was Bob Buckhorn who said, you know, do you have an extra something $1 million lying under your mattress? There's been no discussion. St. Pete is well competitive. It's come out less than 2 weeks before the mayor's race. It's not going to have an impact on it, and it wasn't from the Rays.
30 seconds, guys.
So I
St.
think
Pete's better than Tampa.
Well, and the truth of the matter is that while I'd love to see the Rays in downtown Tampa, Hillsborough County Republicans are incredibly vocal against any tax increases, whether it be for transportation and certainly professional baseball teams. And so one thing that you'll see them come out against is any kind of payment for a brand new stadium.
All right, there we have it. Democratic political analyst Shannon Love and Republican political analyst Jonathan Torres. Always great to have you here. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.